It's another isolation conversation, and I'm with Cougars head men's soccer coach Cale Wassermann. And coach, crazy times. Not anything that you or I could have predicted or expected, but here we are. How are things with you at this point?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me. Good to see your face. Obviously, normally I'm used to running into you in the hallways or in each other's offices. So this is fun to hop on a little Zoom chat. But things are going well with me. Obviously, really unfortunate events and situation all around the world, and we're kind of taking all of our best precautions, and all of our team, we're staying away from each other and social distancing, and obviously for the bulk of our guys, they've gone home and are no longer on campus. And so we're just kind of communicating virtually and trying to make the most of our situation right now.
I spoke to Derek Burton recently, and one of the things that I think maybe some folks don't realize, I think that top of mind is some of the spring sports, softball, baseball, track and field. But for you, for Derek, your programs, obviously, the spring plays a huge part in what you do to prepare for the fall. And you'll have some games, but you do a lot of training, and that's been disrupted. It's definitely a huge hit to the fall programs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a huge believer that this time of the year for our fall sports is when we make our biggest jumps, our most strides. We get to experiment, we get to train more regularly, we get to do team building, where maybe in the fall we don't have as much time when we have sometimes 3 games in a week and you're traveling and there's classes. So this is a huge blow for us, especially I've only been here for 12 months, so losing this semester pretty much is a time where I thought we could have continued to expedite our process and continue forward with some of the steps we're taking as a group. But was really excited about the first few weeks of the spring that we had, and we had good numbers, so we got some really good training sessions. And I think this group right now, although we can't be together physically, has really made a commitment, and the guys have been great. We've been connecting with each player on meetings twice a week. So we do small group meetings once a week, and then a team meeting like with all 24 guys on Fridays. So we've been connecting with them, and I think this small group meeting stuff actually has given us a chance to allow for different voices to come out than maybe would happen on a training session when 24 guys are competing. This has allowed maybe a freshman in a small group of 6 setting on his Tuesday meeting group to come out of his shell a little bit, and we get to know each other and learn from each other a little more than maybe we would on our normal spring. So I think what we're losing in certain areas, we're trying to gain back in others, but definitely on the field, this is a big time for us fall sports. So everybody's missing being out there for sure.
Have you focused on, more generally how the student athlete is doing and how they're adapting, or have you been able to get in a little bit of tactical stuff, whether it's looking at some video or discussing some plans, some ideas?
Yeah, we've done some video stuff. I'm a huge believer in pattern recognition and implementing what we're doing in our video into training sessions to help it stick. I'm very hands-on. So, I think what we do in our film sessions will be limited, and what the route that we've chosen to go is, with some of that as part of the recipe. The bulk of our recipe for this time of year has been focused on our team culture and the pillars of our program. So it's not so much tactics and X's and O's. It's more what's kind of behind all that and what's the heart of our program. And our guys took the initiative early in the semester. We kind of redid some of our team's pillars. And so, we've got a couple pillars like dealing with adversity, accountability, and there's a few others. And we've kind of taken those themes and really dug deeper as a group and in our small group meetings to just take some more time to spend with that, where maybe in the fall or spring normally that would have been eclipsed by our ball work. So we've kind of switched it more, and it's given us an opportunity to focus more on our team culture and kind of what, like I said, the heartbeat of what we feel is going to push this program forward.
I've seen some of the stuff that you've had out on social media. You've got musicians on the team, and you're doing some stuff, some lighthearted stuff. That part of it is super important as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're, Jaime, for those who haven't seen, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. shout out to our social media team behind the scenes, which is a combination of a few bright minds. But we try to show some of the insights to our program on our social media, which is fun. But Jaime Ruiz, who's in Spain right now, did a little piano performance. We've learned things like Daniel Brennan, one of our assistant coaches. He's taken on a worm farm to make his own fertilizer. I mean, there's guys doing also. We got Jake Myers up in Minnesota. I think he's got snow boots on and a shovel right now. Where down here, Stephen Beavis is walking around in 70-degree weather on some days. So everybody's in different places. We have guys on our team. Tor Eric Larson was on a mountaintop in Norway yesterday. And so everybody's kind of doing different things. And these meetings have given us a chance to come together and really share some of those experiences. And it's been fun. It's been fun for me, quite honestly. I enjoy the FaceTime with the guys in a little less pressure-filled situation for both of us. I think they can open up and understand it's more about relationship building right now. It's not about playing time. It's about making sure guys' well-beings are where they should be and just kind of building bigger bonds within our group.
You've got quite a few internationals, and I can imagine that posed a little bit of problem maybe when everything kind of came down, maybe logistically getting guys home. But certainly I know probably just communication-wise, now you're kind of having to balance schedules with guys that are quite literally across the world.
Yeah, we've got guys in a few different time zones. Sam Layton is from Australia, but he's in California, so he's earlier than us. And then we have guys in Spain, Norway. Oscar Lenz is on his way back to Germany. He actually chose to stay here for the first few weeks, months to kind of see some things out and figure out how long this stay-at-home order was going to take place. And we have guys that had plans to play soccer for USL 2 or NPSL teams this summer, and so a couple guys had to rethink what they were going to do, and we've had to balance schedules, travel, shared Wi-Fi with family members in certain situations or shared devices. And, I think we're going through a lot of the same things pretty much every team in the country. And for, quite honestly, most businesses and companies are going through is trying to find ways to communicate efficiently, effectively. And I think being flexible, our fearless leader, Tim Hall, our AD, he's got a quote from his dad, is be pliable like silly putty. And I think that's very, it's a quote that resonates quite strongly right now with all of us. And I think we've got to be flexible and adaptable right now and make the most of what we can.
Coach, I know just following you personally, social media wise, you're taking some time to do some home improvements, including the beautiful background wall you've got going on there, but you've got a new young one at home. So this is some maybe unexpected time that you've got with family. How has the personal side of it gone for you?
I feel very blessed, quite honestly. Like I feel horrible for people around the world that have been pulled away from loved ones, that are working on the front lines, that are affected with health or health of friends with this whole situation. But I have a very healthy 11-month-old child at home and a beautiful wife. And, we've been able to balance my work obligations, which were very heavy and right now in recruiting and communication with players and planning for the fall, but balance that with, in the middle of the day, take a break from work and throw the baby in the stroller and walk around the block with him or play with him in the afternoons. And I get up, I do the early shift to allow me the freedom to work most of the day. I get up about 5:30 every morning and he wakes up somewhere around there. So we spend the first 2-3 hours of the day just kind of hanging out. And it's been great. It's been a lot of fun and something that I'm very grateful for, but at the same time, it's exhausting. And, when I'm trying to take a call from a recruit in France and I've got trying to feed him a bottle, that's a little different, but I know a lot of us are going through those same challenges. And I feel grateful to be in a position where I can kind of balance both right now. And, I miss the guys and the training and traveling, miss that stuff greatly, but also I'm fortunate to have a great life at home. And I know you referenced my wood wall. This was a day's work with a borrowed nail gun and a couple YouTube tutorials. So if I can do it, anybody can.
That's gorgeous. No, it looks great.
Yeah, thank you.
So And we're visiting with Cale Wassermann, Cougars head men's soccer coach. You've talked about recruiting a little bit. Something else that you are having to do, or I assume will be having to do, is find a new assistant coach. You're trying to round out your staff as well. So I assume you're kind of fielding some offers there as well.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time here. Obviously, my first year brought in a great staff. We worked really well together, and although we hated to see Coach Stephen Gordon leave, we're excited to see him get an opportunity to run his own program and be a Division I head coach. And I think that says a lot about our program when our assistants are getting recruited for positions like that. So we're in transition right now. We've gone through the hiring process, and we're really excited to announce a new coach here pretty soon. As soon as this stay-at-home order is lifted, we'll have the freedom for a very experienced, really exciting assistant coach to join our program. And then we're actually in process of a second hiring as well. So our staff will have at least one new person, potentially two, but also some cohesiveness with some of the staff members that are staying on as well. So we're looking to build off what we started this year, and hopefully once this stay-at-home order is done, we can kind of wrap that whole process up.
And things, I think it's inevitable, obviously, that things are going to be different than, what we expected, or certainly what we are used to in one way or another. And I think that, it remains to be seen kind of how different, but what do you expect, or what are you doing just to kind of prepare for maybe a new future and what that looks like?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think one of the benefits of living life in the world of sport is on a daily basis. You have to adapt and improvise, and whether that's you have a practice plan and all of a sudden you have a lightning delay, or you're in a game and you think you're going to be winning at halftime, and all of a sudden you give up 2 goals, and you've got to adjust and adapt and improvise. So there's a ton of talks with us. Fall sports, obviously spring sports are their own animal, and dealing with eligibility and players getting an additional year. We haven't gotten that far yet, but certainly there's talks with the whole situation of, the way teams are setting up their scheduling, certain budget implications, length of the season or start date. So for us, it's one of those things, same thing we tell our guys, we're just ready. Whatever comes our way, we'll embrace it. Whether it's adversity, whether it's a glimmer of an earlier start than we hope, whatever it is, we've kind of preached it to our guys, is just embrace the situation and make the most of it. But yeah, there's a lot of change that could take place with, like I said, scheduling, timelines, budgets. You mentioned our international recruits. So we have returning players from Germany, Norway, England. I'm sure I'm Spain, and I'm sure I'm missing a few others. And then we have incoming players from Israel, England, as well as domestically across the United States. So a lot could change, and we're just going to hope for the best and be ready to take action when we're called upon.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for taking some time and chatting. Like I told, many of our other coaches, I hope that the next time that you and I talk, it's either in the hallway or the break room, or certainly, back on the sideline where, we sort of belong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I cannot wait to get back to the VC and to my office and to Cordy Stadium and seeing everybody. I'll end with a positive note, where no matter where you're stuck, jump on some social media for some SIUE Cougars, get some fun entertainment from our programs that are putting out good stuff, and be positive. So we'll all be back together soon. Thanks for having me, Joe.
Man, you are 100% correct, and I appreciate it. So thank you for the time.
Take care.